Geek Dad Life presents Toy Geeks, a live toy talk show. Tonight we're going to talk about all of the reveals from day 2 of Hasbro's Pulse Con 2022. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Toy Geeks. My name is Jay, and back, he has internet. With me tonight is my good friend John. John, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. I got moved into the current century. I'm here. I'm alive. I'm excited.
I'm so happy to have you here. So much thanks goes out to Dan Who Reviews, Mega J Retro, and Craig. So I didn't have to go it alone. I was really worried, as I was getting ready to go, in Wayne's World where Garth gets left alone and it's just hey. I know what it was like, but we made it through. But so happy to have you here, my friend. How are you doing?
I tell you, it's good to be out of the hurricane. No, not worrying about the tree falling down on me on the house. I'm glad to be here. So glad to be here.
Glad to have you here, my friend. On an epic close, our last day to the Hasbro Pulse Con. But don't worry, tons of coverage to come. So we are doing our coverage right now from 8:30 to about 10. And then Craig's going to come on again at the end of this show to pass the baton on to Craig and the Toy Anxiety crew. And then tomorrow, John and I will be in our normal time slot with good friend of the channel, Dan Larson of Toy Galaxy will be joining us, as well as we'll have a special appearance by Toy Shiz for the first time on Toy Geeks. Can't say the whole time, but we'll be dropping in to say hello as well. So we'll wrap up this whole weekend and any other news that we need to cover in our normal time slot. But let's say hello to the chat. The chat is hopping as always. And then we'll bring out today's special guest, a very, very special guest. Alpha Magnus, Gotham Bat, Andy Silva, Comics, Smedberg, Greg, Michael Woods is here. We've got Dartherian, Kato, G from Thaberg, Dalzell, Charlie Weaver, Brandon 3G, Doralaxian. We've also got Drifter Comic, Kayla Silva, A, Troy, Space Cowboy, Jace 97.6. We've got TMNT is badly. We've got Brian Brink, Alpha Magnus, Riley Bob, Larry's Geeky World, Cobra, Nick Dillinger, Rondo Lorian, Ray Black, Thanos Copter, Thunder House Design. Did I do Nick Dillinger? I'll do it again. Ray Black again. Let's keep going. John Garrett, Doomsday, Hoth Dog. That's a good name. Fog is here. Roberto Colon is here. And so many others. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming out night after night to hang out and talk about all of the reveals. John, I'm upset you weren't able to be here yesterday, but we'll recap more tomorrow too. So
yeah,
talk about some of those. But tonight we're about day 2, which was G.I. Joe, some other things, Indiana Jones, and Star Wars. And with us today is our special guest. He's been here before, legend in the toy tuber community. I know everybody in the chat absolutely adores him. And if you don't, you need to go subscribe to his channel. I got a link in the description below. Let's welcome friend of the channel, past, current, and future guest, Mad Hatter. How you doing, my friend?
Hey. What's going on, boys? What's happening?
We're here to talk some toys, but my friend, I feel like I have to knight you. I should have gotten a sword of some sort to knight you into the Geek Dad life officially.
You know what? I'm feeling good. I'm feeling dad-like. I'm feeling sensei-like. I'm now responsible for the life of another human being. All right. I think I've been running some different names for the channel, maybe like Dad Hatter or the Mad Dad Hat. Just trying to come up with different names now. If I play my cards right, I'm also trying to think of the future. There's that one kid. What's that one kid whose parents take advantage of him and they make him do toy reviews? I was just thinking of
Ryan's Toys.
Yeah, like Ryan's Toys. I'm like, can I mold this kid and become like a millionaire or something? That's the other thing. So I'm just trying to explore all my options, because if I'm gonna have a kid, I want to make money off this kid somehow. That's the way that I approach parenting. I don't know if that's the right way, but by the way, I'm vertical today, everybody. Just sorry about that, but yeah, thanks for the invite.
No, listen. I think is it Baby Hatter reviews, Kid Hatter reviews, just like
maybe Baby Hatter reviews. Oh, it could be like Muppet Babies, Baby.
Oh yeah,
just do that. They open all kinds of doors, and maybe I can put like crazy characters. Remember Muppet Babies? They'd open a door, like Flipper Frank comes out.
Yep.
I'll make like a whole production out of it. I'll make it like a whole show. Everybody's minds will be blown from this new thing. It'll be great. I'm all sugared up, by the way.
Listen, man, I get it, because I know the baby's home right now, and I know it's gotta be exhausting. So thankful that even in and then people that have kids, it's the tiredest you will ever be in your life.
Oh,
and still being here to hang out and talk toys with us. I really appreciate it, my friend.
Yeah, dude, I'm fine neglecting that kid to talk toys. It's all good. No, it's a lot. It really is. Just the sleep, it's like kind of like military, where you're just like every 4 hours, 3 hours. So but my wife is God bless her soul, she's a great partner, so all good things. We brought her home. That's all that matters.
Let's get Mad Hatter to 10K. Agreed, Matt Bush. You're very close, my friend. So again, I have a link in the description to Mad Hatter Reviews. Please go ahead and give him a subscribe. We also have a new family member, Jonathan Morello. So you get the official welcome to the family.
I got family.
And anybody else can join the GDL family. It's $1 or 99 cents. So feel free to sign up for that if you want to. I did want to plus in one name, new name for you, Kayla Silva here. Zaddy Hatter. So Zaddy status there, my friend.
I'm gonna copyright all these just in case, and then I'll make a decision later.
Mad Datter. Matt Datter.
Matt Datter.
Oh my goodness. Oh, Mad Toddler reviews. This is pretty good. Mad Toddler.
Mad Toddler. I like that. I like that. Although then you have to commit. Once she grows up, I can't,
That's true. You gotta keep having kids. So you can keep replacing.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. Okay. As long as it equals money in my pocket, then we're all good.
It's very Flipper Frank of you right now, my friend.
I know. I don't know what's going on. I'm sorry. I'm like going. I think I slept like 30 minutes in the last week, so I'm completely wired up. Sorry.
Sean Daly joined the family. Sean Daly.
Nice.
Family.
You got family, Sean Daly. Okay. All right. So tons of reveals. Hatter, you specifically asked if you could be on this show because you were super excited about the potential of Indiana Jones. Plus, we had some G.I. Joe reveals as well as Star Wars. So let's not waste any more time. Maybe let's just do it in order. We'll do G.I. Joe, then Indiana Jones, and then Star Wars. Does that sound good, gentlemen?
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
All right. Another one here. Caveman reviews.
I got family.
Hatter, you're bringing out everyone wants to join the family today.
That's called we call that the Hatter bump. Okay, that's what. I can't do it for myself. That's the one thing. It's a power that doesn't affect me. It affects others. So you can take advantage of that.
Oh my God.
Well, I hope they're already all subscribers on yours.
They better be. They really better be.
All right. So this thing started. Okay, just John, I want to start with you because I haven't got to talk to you about really. We chatted over text a little bit, but the communications were not the best the past couple of days. But just overall vibe, feel of the day. What were you feeling here of the whole package?
It felt okay. Mostly because some of it felt a little forced, but I think we need to expect that,
Sure.
Like not everybody's going to be as excited as us. Like, yes, they work for the company, so that's what their job is.
Yeah.
We are actually enjoying, trying to enjoy it on a different level.
Yeah.
But I think overall it was pretty good. I felt good about all of it. I do think that yesterday the pre-show and then there was like that big length of
With
time.
you and
Yeah, like what? Why didn't they just have it roll right into it and schedule the pre-show later?
Yeah.
But I thought everything overall went well.
I agree. These segments were the forced things.
Yes,
and I kind of agree. Like if you bring in Thew, if you're bringing the Black Nerd, Andre, if you're gonna bring in like YouTubers, toy tubers that know how to host these things, just have them host it. Because this felt a little. It didn't feel. It was. I don't know. The tone seemed off to what the event was. Hatter, what was your thoughts just of the overall production and kind of feel of the event? I'm going to right before you answer, I want to plus in some of these super chats. $2 super chat, Serpentor. Serpentor wrong. Kongs or Us.
I got family.
Welcome, my friend. Another great YouTube channel. Great for Arcade 1-Up reviews. Casper's Corner.
Oh.
Do you have something to say about that, Hatter?
Oh, Casper, he's good people. I love that dude.
Awesome. Good. And then we've got another super chat here. Hedgehog Action Motu version Mad Hat Tour. But Hatter, your thoughts just of the overall kind of production and these intro segments, all that kind of stuff.
Oh man, am I gonna be negative now? It's just honestly just such cornball stuff. I'm just like and it's all the time with these, like, look, I was very spotty yesterday. I didn't catch the whole thing, but like, is there just a better way just to make these things more entertaining or more authentic or more organic? It's like, I remember when I would go to Comic-Con and you would go see like them talk about like they'll show a trailer. What's that guy who used to do like The Walking Dead? He used to do like The Walking Dead commentary, Chris Hardwick or whatever.
Yeah, Chris Hardwick.
It's like there's so many like celebrities now that are also fans or geeks or things like that. Get somebody who's like funny or entertaining. Like it's always this cornball stuff where I feel like they go to some agency and they're like, hey, can you just get us some hosts, get us some whatever? And it's I never connect to it. It's always this corny. The chat hates it. You look at the chat and I mean, chat can be not this chat, but chat can be toxic anyway. Okay, because like people just want to say the rudest, most horrible. I'm not gonna curse. Horrible crap. But like, regardless, it still sucks. It sucks because it's like, and Sideshow is guilty of it too. It's not a Hasbro thing. I would watch those like Sideshow collectible, things where somebody would get on. It's like clearly this, like they'll be like, oh man, where in my house am I gonna put this? It's like, my friend, you're not putting this in your house. You're not a collector. You're like, they always do that cornball crap. Like, where am I gonna put it? It's like, and it's like Serpentor is just a small element of like a bigger picture. It's just like there's plenty of guys that are probably A-list, B-list, C-list, D-list celebrity people that are fans. Get them in, have them be funny, have entertainment set. All of this is such cornball crap, and it's like they do it all the time. Just make this like. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's
absolutely.
It's constant. It's constant. And like, this was just another one of these, like, hey, we're dressed up as Ghostbusters. I don't want to be negative, but it's like, we're mostly adults. And we know when somebody is like kind of like shilling. So it's like, just kind of make it authentic and bring in some like authenticity and be entertaining. So
and I bet if you got like a toy tube or something, it would be cheaper than probably hiring people like this, I would guess.
Get like a toy. Get people that or segment it with people's specialties. Like if there's somebody that knows about G.I. Joe who's not gonna call him Serpentor, get that person to like start the host, like the hosting for that segment, or do like make it authentic. Like, we understand you're a corporation, but you should hide it. It's like. It's like, we know you want money, but like, Hasbro doesn't go, hey, give us money. They go, no, they put on some bells and whistles. It's the same thing. It's just like, and Comic-Con, it's like, I feel like for movies and for like trailers, or when they used to host those Hall H things, they did it well. Like, they made it entertaining, they made it engaging. And people didn't like roll their eyes. Well, but it's always like an eye roll fest in these things. So
And I think what they do well at like Comic-Con and stuff is the people that host the panels, to your point, is an actor or a journalist or somebody that's a fan of the thing they're hosting the panel on.
Yeah. It's and we can tell. We could tell instantly. It's like we're not kids.
Yeah. And if they're going to have these, I don't want to say uneducated, but they really have nothing to do with the properties that they're showing off,
Yeah.
especially
No.
like these hosts. If they're going to do that, this should honestly be pre-recorded so they can go back, fix the mistakes.
Yeah.
Because then they just get like they get torn apart after the fact.
Yeah.
And they want us to think that they're only doing it live so that they can interact with the chat.
Sure.
Show me one instance in the 3 years that this happened where we can pull out a chat that they've interacted with that's happening in live time. Everything
a little bit, but it's not.
But everything is like picked out from like
like
in previous or last year or whatever it was when they had like the huge board of like GI Joe fans.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, well, no, you could have pre-recorded that too. Everything should be pre-recorded for this. Because when they do those like put in the effects of like the giant transformer, that giant Decepticon, and then when it turns into the tank mode and he's pointing at it in a completely different spot.
Listen, I like listen. I love live productions. Like this is a live show, but you need to have like that authenticity to make it an enjoyable experience, right? I think it's inauthentic. I don't blame these hosts. They're hired to do a job, and they're doing the job they're hired to do. But I think they're not setting them up for success, and I think that's a shame for these people that I'm sure are perfectly capable actors, DJs, whatever, that are doing a job. But you want somebody that's actually gonna drive something. I already want to plus in a couple super chats here. Greg, love to Hatter. Very happy for him to become a splinter to a turtle now. Thanks for that, Greg.
That's right.
And we just got another super chat. I love Hatter spitting facts. Hasbro's watching, and I know they are. Hire Hatter, or at least Happy Toy Guy.
Yeah, that would be a horrible idea, but thank you for the push. I love that.
Listen, Hatter, like gummy legs on this would slap. It would hit.
It would slap. Okay, I think. I mean, the new album I think is going to be a little more experimental, but we'll always have gummy legs to go back on. Gummy legs is my Radiohead creep. Okay, I'm only going to do it sometimes.
Okay, we should have. You need to do a Mad Hatter and Happy Toy Guy sort of Mr. Rogers style changeover where Hatter comes in and then he puts on a different cardigan, changes the shoes.
Yes.
And then it's Happy Toy Guy.
I do like that. I can have like the cardigan and I can turn it over and
God. Okay. G.I. Joe. And John, I know you talked. Also, who's this guy? I don't know who this guy was, but whatever. We spent a lot of time. We already spent enough time on these guys, but G.I. Joe team coming out with some new reveals. So they've gotten into this rhythm of showing renders, showing complete figures that have been done that were maybe renders before or whatever, and then maybe giving you some pre-orders. And they follow that same rhythm today. And so, John, thoughts here. This is rock and roll, right? Thoughts here on some of the render reveals. First up being rock and roll.
I mean, everything's kind of expected because these were pipeline reveals already.
Yeah.
So, we kind of know what they're going to go for. I do like this rock and roll. He's kind of a combo of original green shirt and the was it 1988 or 1989 rock and roll. And it's a decent mix of each figure, but I mean, it just wasn't a surprise.
Yeah. But he looks good. I like the way he looks. To your point, John, I like how it is a little bit of a combo, not just the green shirt because it's a little boring. Hatter, thoughts on rock and roll?
Yeah, I mean, I like this dude. I mean, I think they modernized him pretty well. It was expected, but I think they did a good job just kind of like mitigating some of the. I'm just taking a look at him right now. The bandolier is a really nice touch. I love the helmet. Tattoos. I don't know about tattoos, man. It's they're an issue. How many figures do tattoos right? I know they said that they were doing something new with this, and I like they were saying they're doing like the devil horn.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of cool, but I don't know. Tattoos are so, I was gonna say hit or miss, but I'm trying to think like other action figures that have like tattoos and like how hard they hit, and so I don't love that, but I don't know. I dig this guy. I'm definitely getting him, and I'm more of a Cobra guy anyway, but I think it's a good modernization.
Yeah, like rock and roll. I don't know. Like John, does he fall? I feel like he's an essential character because he's one of the original characters. So he's kind of an essential character, right? You need to have a rock and roll. Is he a need to have, or maybe he's more fringe if you aren't necessarily an earlier G.I. Joe Real American Hero fan?
No, I think he's an essential because I feel like everybody had a rock and roll figure growing up. Whether you had the green shirt or you had the one with the 2 giant machine guns with the ammo belts.
Yeah.
Because it's like one of those figures. It's the leech effect. Like when you buy a toy collection, there's always a rock and roll figure in there. So it's like, well, everybody's got a rock and roll somewhere.
Right. It's only rock and roll, but I like it.
Yeah. By the way, I mean, sorry, go on, Dave.
Just real quick, Plastic Nostalgia, join the family.
I got family.
Welcome, Plastic Nostalgia. All right, Hatter, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just actually talking just to clarify, not tattoos in general, tattoos on action figures, because I feel like they look very painty, which is why I think, I don't know another way to say it. Like I wish that they can have a way to make them look more lived in, if that makes sense.
Yes.
And I'm trying to think of an action figure that does tattoos well. And maybe that's why they avoided, didn't they not even do them in like a lot of those NBA figures? Like those guys
do tattoos, which is
none, period.
Yeah, like a $50 figure. Yeah, so
I get what you're saying. Like modern action figure tattoos, they look like they're like drawn on with like a Bic pen.
That's what I'm saying. There's like a weird like henna look, you know, like people get henna it's
like they should have a little, the lines shouldn't be so fine. They should be a little bit smudgy, or like it's like lived in, like you said.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're going to look that brand new, they should be shiny, like covered in Vaseline and tattoo healer.
Thunderhouse Design says the painter guy did say he colored them more bluish instead of black to try and be older looking.
Oh, he did? Okay, I missed that.
Whatever that's worth.
Just going off the renders.
But it's render. You're 100% right, Hatter. It's like it's renders, so until you see it for real, it's hard to say.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, John, you're a New Englander. But you hate you can like the Patriots. You hate Tom Brady, but you hate the. But anyways, the saying this is a Patriots football jersey, I felt was a little offensive. But John, thoughts on Bazooka? It's Bazooka, right?
Yeah, it's Bazooka. It's very red throwback, like 80s Patriots jersey, which is fitting.
I thought orange too. I think I saw you in the chat in the live stream for this, and I thought it did that too. But we'll let him say whatever it is.
Yeah. I mean, this figure looks great anyway. It's a great jacked Tom Selleck for anybody who wants one. But I mean, I love the Bazooka is one of my favorites.
Yes.
I'm super excited for this figure, and the way that they talked about like the flaring out of the shirt sleeves, so it looks a little bit more natural.
Yeah.
He looks great. I'm super stoked for this figure.
Shiny Priceless says he always thought it was the Patriots. Autobot Trash Talker joined the GDL family.
I got family.
Welcome, Autobot. No weapon shown with Bazooka. I mean, I assume he's got to come with a bazooka, right? But Casual Critic, too soon. We don't even have Tiger Force version in our hands yet.
Yeah.
Big though. Hatter, your thoughts here on Bazooka?
No, 100% right on where's the Tiger Force version, but this is my favorite version. This is like one of these. The problem is with GI Joes, like just in general, not Cobra, but GI Joe as a faction, is that they tend to blend together in a whole pastiche of green. You know what I mean? So it's nice to have Bazooka stands out. It's such this iconic like 80s kind of thing, like just the dude with the shirt. And I love the color. So this, if I had to choose, this would be the Bazooka I would get. I'm probably going to get the other one too, but I do love this. I love the face. I love the expression. Yeah, there's like a little bit of a Tom Selleck for my 3 Men and a Baby play set that I'm going to be putting together at some point. But yeah, I mean, he's great. And this is also, I'm going to end up saying this is a must for so many of these, but this one's a must. Like that, the way his helmet fits, the mustache is he's got mustache game.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I love it.
It's another iconic figure, character, what have you, and it is a must. Toying Around in the chat. Hello there. Hello, Toying Around. Good to see you, my friend. Another great toy channel. Give them a sub. But yeah, no, I agree. He looks really, really good. I think Torpedo, right? It's Torpedo.
Yep.
At least just based on if I was like trying to gauge the chat and just the community, this one seemed to get the most people excited. Hatter, let's start with you. We'll flip it around. Hatter, thoughts here on good old Torpedo here?
I don't have much connection to Torpedo. I think I can pass on Torpedo. He looks like I mean it's obviously very modernized, and I like what they did with the black and the white. I am curious to see before I say I don't get it. And again, when I'm now at the point where I'm saying I'm not going to get something is because of space limitations, money, this and that. I mean, yeah, you want to get everything, but you got to make concessions. So it's not a knock against this figure. I'm just trying to err on the side of like not be a hoarder. But
yes,
I do want to see what he looks like with his like scuba gear on. I do wish they had a shot of him just all scuba geared up, because I think that might make my choice for me. But I mean, he looks cool. I dig the face. They really do find a way to make all these different faces unique. And so I got to give them kudos to that. And they come out that way too. It's not like it's not like Super 7-itis where it's like, here's a face and then you get it and it's like, this looks nothing like the picture. So, I'm interested, but most likely gonna pass.
I understand that. I feel the Super 7 where it like looks amazing, and then it's a butter face. Not that it's bad, but like it looks like they carved it into butter. It just doesn't. Hermione's Toy Box with a $5 sticker. Thank you, Hermione's Toy Box. John, thoughts here on Torpedo?
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I don't have a lot of connection to Torpedo. I much prefer the Cobra eels for any underwater adventures. But of course, if you have an eel, you kind of need Torpedo. But I mean, if this guy goes on clearance, I'll pick him up, if I find him on the cheap. But I won't. This is one I won't like actively look for, if it passes my gaze on the cheap, I'll pick it up. But yeah, I would like to see what he looks like with, fully geared up.
Yeah. Yeah,
because
it'll be the next Pulse event thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Steel Brigade 82 says eel will be 90% of what you're seeing here.
Yeah, probably.
John's Bathtub Adventures.
They sure did focus on his skin suit a lot.
Matthew Matson says Bazooka is a pass for me. Torpedo is a must-have. His history and who he's based off of is awesome. So there you go. Charlie Weaver, all you water sports haters. Brian Brink, anybody here display figures in their fish's tank?
I used to have a merman in a fish tank.
It's like it's a rite of passage, right?
Yeah.
All right. Is it Copperhead, right?
Yep.
Thoughts here on Copperhead, John? We'll start with you.
He looks awesome. They seem to really stay true to the vintage figure with him.
Yeah,
where it's just like they scanned the vintage figure, added the articulation, and upsized it.
Yep.
It looks awesome. I know they decided to do just the helmeted head, but I really do wish they went.
Yeah, I'm surprised
with a removable helmet. I mean, I know they made the argument for, well, the helmet makes the figure, but I mean, they have the technology to make a removable helmet. I really would have liked to see what he looks like under there, what they could have done, because, why not? But
I mean, it's a render, so maybe they'll still fan feedback.
Mm-hmm. They really made that argument though to have it helmeted.
They did. That's true. I'm trying to just have a little bit of hope. Steel Brigade 82 join the GDL family. Steel Brigade 82.
I got family.
You got family. Welcome. Hatter, thoughts here on old Copperhead?
I wasn't gonna go in, but he grew on me, and it's I do agree about the helmet thing, but that might be something that changes down the line. I again, Copperhead. This is just a personal thing. I'm going by connections, like
sure.
Nostalgic connections. I don't have that much of connection. I'm not gonna pick him apart. He looks great. I mean, he's vintagey, and I do love the helmet. I do wish it came off, but this will probably be a game time decision.
It's I gotta say, I feel like you need this one to continue your Bane series.
You know what? I did think of that. That did cross my mind. If I can come up with any excuse to buy an action figure, I will. And that was one that came up. I said maybe he becomes part of the Bane series. This series is it's getting hot, and I might just need to throw this guy in. So maybe, I don't know. Maybe I go in. In fact, you guys are convincing me. I think I do go in on top of that. That's how quickly it happens. Damn it.
Michael says, I thought Copperhead was an army builder soldier. Was I wrong? Is Michael wrong?
Yeah, Copperhead is a unique character.
Yeah, he's not an army builder yet.
Maybe in his head canon it was,
which is totally fine.
Yeah. It's everybody plays how they want to play.
Copperhead is COVID safe, ahead of the game here. Copperhead already masked up and ready to go. All right, let's keep moving here. Shipwreck was one that was everyone said Shipwreck's going to be shown, right, John? I think it was on a leaked list too. Mm-hmm. But Hatter, we'll start with you. Thoughts on Shipwreck?
Oh, this guy was locked in before Classified was even announced. So they had me at, hey, we're doing Classified figures, and I love it. I mean, I love the way it came out. I love the chest hair. Okay,
absolutely.
As a Middle Easterner who suffers this affliction, we need more chest hair people to be represented. So I love and I love how they pointed it out. They put a spotlight on it. I like that he come. I'd be very curious what the hair looks like on him, even though I'm not ever going to display him like that. But no, he's awesome. What else would you do with a Shipwreck? I mean,
yeah, I gotta say, great. Thank you for calling out the body hair thing. The G.I. Joe team was on point with their body hair because we had was it Outback with the red arm hair, and then we're gonna look at it later. But then you go to the poor Cassian Andor facial hair. It looks like trash. So it had a great call out here. The chest moss is important, and they featured it well here. John, your thoughts here on Shipwreck?
He looks really good. I think as we all expected, they would do Shipwreck right. I like the removable hairpiece, kind of like the first release of Lady J.
Yeah,
where it worked out well. It doesn't look like it's on Lady J anyway. It doesn't look like it's oversized or that she's wearing a hat of hair. It just looks like it's all supposed to be that way. I think my only request would have been if they gave Paulie a set of wings like they did with Tracker's bird.
Wait, did they say that they are not doing that? I mean, everything that's coming with him is represented right here.
Yeah.
Yep.
It said peg leg, so the peg leg on the parrot, so it goes in, and no wings though.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you, John. The Tallyhawk, they did that well. The Ramen Toy Tallyhawk, because it's basically the same thing. You get the same buck, but it would have been nice if you can just get some wings.
Yeah, just plug in. Just put a port in there and plug the wings in. Yep.
Yeah.
But otherwise, Shipwreck. It looks great. and one where tattoos make sense.
I did want to who said I want to plus it in here. Hot dog tattoo meh, mustache meh, chest hair yes please. Oh my god. Robin Williams would have fit right in. Rest in peace, Robin Williams. Let's see. Let's move along here. I believe those are all our render reveals, right? Okay. We've got to see for the first time for the HasLab His Tank, potentially the last successful HasLab ever. No, I'm just kidding. We saw the tier unlocks, the female gunner, and the classic style Cobra Commander. I thought they both look fantastic. And I think I had our first last time. I think John, you're first here. What thoughts here on getting to see in real life these figures for the first time?
They look great. I did not buy the His Tank, and they did not make me regret not buying it. They did not. But you know, the figures look good. That's it. You know, like we expected they would. But I'll get another Cobra Commander somewhere else. The first Cobra Commander from Classified, he stands there, he does his job, but hopefully I'll get another one at one point. It won't be this one because I'm probably not going to want to shell out $200 or whatever he ends up selling for, but I still have no regrets.
No regrets, but Dartherian says John is a blasphemer. But for me, I think they looked really good. I'm excited for them, and yeah, I think they looked really good. But no His Tank. Oh man, Hatter, your thoughts, my friend?
No His Tank is blowing me away, John. No, I admittedly am a huge mark for both of these right here. I was geeking out when they showed it. That Cobra female trooper looks amazing, and I think they said they're going to be doing like a trooper pack, maybe like a female trooper pack. Mm-hmm. I'm so in for that. Valaverse has that like female trooper. They're not troopers, but they're like, I don't know what it's like. I don't know what they are, but like I wasn't wild about them, although maybe I gotta I gotta hold it in hand. But these right here, just visually, I'm so about these. And that Cobra Commander, I was I don't want to say this now. I feel bad saying it in front of John, but when I saw it, I was like, thank God. I was like, thank God I went in on this His Tank, even though I was not in a position where I should have ever gotten a His Tank, like ever. Okay, but when I saw this, I was like, praise the Lord that I locked in on this thing, because these things look so hot. But I'm also like, just the Cobra. It's easy to get me to fanboy over Cobra stuff. So yes. What can you say? But I dig them.
Look. You, if anybody wants to know what I chose to do with my money instead, I'm gonna have it tomorrow on our hauls.
There you go. Ooh, good tease. Good tease, John. Greg says so. Weirdly, Stu bought one, so maybe it's your alternate. We have a new member as well. Frustrated Fans Sports Show.
I got family.
We got family here at GDL Family, and I went and checked out your channel because you commented a couple weeks ago. Well, I checked it out, and a fun channel. I believe a Washington Commanders fan. So I feel for you as a former Chargers fan. I feel for you, my friend. Anyway, vote purple. I'm kind of they kind of talked about. Let me bring it up here because they showed it without paint. Was it the Tactician? There it is. They showed the Tactician. Let me get a zoom.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So I'm Team Purple as well. I gotta say, I'm Team Purple all the way. John, you don't get to vote. I'm sorry. Mad Hatter, what would you vote? What are you gonna vote?
I did vote for purple only because I did like the there was a few black and red choices.
Mhm.
I forgot which one I found most interesting, but I just thought that we already have so much black and red represented that I wanted something a little different. And so yeah, I'm also team Purple Rain.
Oh yes, Purple Rain, Purple Rain.
Now you got a copyright strike.
No, it was like the opposite of copyright. I was like, please never sing that
Yeah,
again.
please, we're not gonna come at you. Please just never do that again.
Yeah, Techno Vibe Purple. That's what I don't know. I just love purple. But yeah, singing it, Prince. I'm not. Sorry, Kayla Silva, your ears. I apologize. But yeah, excited all around for all the His Tank stuff. Let's go here to getting to see these in hand. They did the things they did pre-orders for today. This version of barbecue. I didn't need it, but it looks cool. Had our thoughts here.
Easiest pass in history. Why do I need this? It doesn't even make sense. I get it. It's like part of the Marauders, the Sergeant.
Yeah.
Like barbecue should be red. This goes beyond my comprehension. Easy pass.
Mm-hmm. Agreed, John.
Same. The Slaughters Marauders are probably my least favorite sub team or whatever you might want to call them as far as any of the Joes go. I would put Sky Patrol above them, only because they did new characters for Sky Patrol. They didn't just repaint existing ones. And Tiger Force is just awesome.
Yeah. And out of the pre-orders they did today, he is one of the ones that did not sell out. Cover Girl, the Bat did, as well as the Serpentor, but poor Falcon, Outback, and Barbecue have not yet. All right, let's go back to these here. But anyway, moving on. This Crimson Guard bat looks badass. Makes sense why it's sold out. John, thoughts? You're a bat fan.
I am. It looks so good. I did not get the pre-order.
Mm-hmm.
I will. This is one that I am going to actively hunt down when the time is right, when it's out there in the world. But I love everything Crimson Red, whether it's, the Crimson Guards, the Crimson Troopers, whatever. I want everything in red. I want a Cobra Commander in the Crimson Red.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Love that. How are your thoughts?
Exactly what John said. Double that. Love it. I think the one that sold me is the damaged photo that they had where he was all messed up. I was like, yeah, you know what, I'm in. So yeah, I locked in on one of these guys.
Yep. All right, let's keep moving. I did want to plus this in. Caveman reviews. No thanks. I love my Super 7 bat. I have the Super 7 bat too, but it's very breakable. You got one too, Hatter, right? I feel like you got one.
The Super 7 bat is awesome.
It is.
It's actually awesome. But you get a big shelf.
Falcon looked pretty good as well. They said the green's gonna look a bit different in person. He looked pretty awesome. Hatter, thoughts on Falcon?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a connection to him. I think that's as good as you will get for this character, but it's just not, I'm looking for Strawberry, and this is just so that's it. That's all.
John, thoughts on Falcon? Do you feel similar?
Yeah, it's that Falcon it looks so like plain, like real world, that it almost doesn't fit in with G.I. Joe, where this would fit in with just like a 6-inch military figure line. Where that's what essentially G.I. Joe was going for back in with the green team. But it's like this just looks like a 6-inch military figure where his whole uniform looks like it's like a timeline of military uniforms. Where from like his World War II boots to this, to current era backpack.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. No, I feel you there. And yeah, it didn't resonate with me. Outback is cool as hell though. I know that there's another variant. Is there a Tiger Force one of this too? I don't know. I feel I'm losing track of all of these ones now. But thoughts on Outback, John?
Yeah, one of the top 10. Gotta get him in the collection. I cannot wait. They are doing a Tiger Force one because in the European version of Tiger Force releases in the 80s had a Tiger Force Outback. But I mean, they kept them really true to the original design. I love this figure. I can't wait.
Hatter, your thoughts?
I'm all in on this Outback. I actually like the Tiger Force one too. It's very Nick Nolte-ish, but this one is this is kind of my Outback. We need more things in action figures. All right, we need more chest hair, we need more tattoos, and we need more gingers with beards. Okay, and I'm gonna represent. All right, I'm sick of like people with dark hair getting all the cool figures. All right, we need some of this guy. So yeah. I'm in on this Outback for sure, and probably the other one as well. We'll see. I might double up on that one because they do look different enough. But yeah, I'm going for it.
And then Cover Girl. Okay, I gotta say something. I love Cover Girl as a character. But this head sculpt, it looks like Joan Rivers to me. And once I got that in my head, I couldn't see it. But let's see if we get her face. We got a shot of her face. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
I could not see Joan Rivers once I saw it. It kind of ruined the figure for me. Hatter, your thoughts here on Cover Girl?
There was something questionable about the head. I didn't think of Joan Rivers. Now I will never be able to unsee it. Yeah, thank you very much, Jay. But yeah, there's something going on with the head. But as a figure, she's awesome, man. I love her whole vibe. I do wish the wrench was maybe silver. And they were talking about how it was bigger at some point, and they reduced it. I would have liked to see what the bigger wrench looked like, but I don't know. As soon as I saw this, I was like, man, it'd be cool if they had like a Wolverine too. I'm a fan of this character anyway, and so I kind of was marking, but like I said the same thing. The head is not like a complete sell, and that by the way is like a theme of today, where questionable heads, questionable faces, and this was one of them. Maybe they, I don't know, maybe by the time it's released, it's whatever is corrected.
Yeah. A lot of people are pissed off that I called out because now they're saying it. Jay has ruined it for everyone. I'm so sorry.
Ruined it.
As a comedian, Joan Rivers, a legendary comedian. Like no offense to Joan Rivers either. It's just I can't, Anyways, I'm so sorry to anybody that I ruined this figure for. John, you're not.
Well, yeah, I mean, isn't Super 7 doing those stand-up comedians of the golden age of comedy?
Was that somebody's doing it, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so they just probably had an extra head sculpt and they just stole it out of their trash. But you know what? I do have a this weird connection with Cover Girl, the vintage figure, where I'd never seen it when I was a kid, and a friend of mine gave me this figure, and the hand was broken off, like from the wrist down. And he kept telling me it's a G.I. Joe figure. I'm like, I've never seen this. It's not on the card backs. It's not anywhere. Like, you are just making this up. And it's like, I swear it's a G.I. Joe figure. And then I thought that I had like an unproduced figure, one that never made it to market because it wasn't on a card back. And then like I like coveted my handless Cover Girl figure like as a kid. And then, of course, by the time the internet comes around, it spoiled everything for me. But
and you realize the truth.
Yeah. But outside of Joan Rivers, I love this figure.
The figure looks great. Sculpting looks great. Everything looks great. Everyone just forget everything I said about that. Joan is looking hot as hell. So there you go. G.I. Joan. All right. Serpentor saw him at Comic-Con. And John, I don't know if you watched yesterday's stream, But to ensure that I got a Serpentor today, I did the unthinkable. I put myself right back into being a Pulse exclusive, whatever member, Pulse Premium, whatever the hell they call it, just to make sure I got my Serpentor today. Holy hell. First, and this was the bit that I had yesterday. I'll do it again. I thought I was out on Pulse Premium.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
And so back in the thick of it, and so well worth it because, John, I was totally on board with your theory that this was going to be $150, especially when they show that damn Nerf gun for $80. I was like, there's no way this thing ain't going to be $150, but it ended up only being $79 and just fell. And I mean, I fell in love with this at Comic-Con. So excited I was able to pick it up today. I got one for you too, John. But John, thoughts on this, and then we'll get Hatter's thoughts.
Man, seeing it just in photos at Comic-Con is one thing, but just seeing it here with them playing with it, taking the guns off, it looks so damn good. I can't emphasize enough like how good this looks, and just modernizing it, but also like taking that. I mean, look at the vintage toy. Like this, the vintage toy is super cheesy. Like, why would somebody ride this thing? Why would somebody ride a snake's head around? It's kind of a weird idea.
Yeah.
But then they take that whole thing and just make it nicer, but it's the same. And I want 100 of them.
Yeah, right. Indeed. Let's see. People that thought in that $80 range, you won the game for sure. Let's see. Got the Black Screen of Death on checkout as a Plus member, but that's good. It went through pretty easy because I got one like right at 5, and then John, you and I were talking, and you picked up the Indy figures for me because I was going to be away at 6. I was like, well, hey, do you need this one? So then I was able to go back and get another one for you. Was happy with how it turned out. But if anybody didn't get it, I hope they'll make more of them like they did with the Dr. Mind Bender. Had your thoughts here? Were you able to snag a Serpentor?
I was able to snag one because actually a few months ago I did the Hasbro deal with a friend who we were like, you know what, let's just go in on it and just basically it just mitigated that. So by the time I got the His tank, I already paid for whatever the shipping was, because I think shipping is what, $20 or something, whatever it is for the His tank. And then so we're just like, yeah, you know what? Then not that I, whatever. It sucks. It's one of these things that just sucks because that's what you have to do to get something, because then it goes live at 6 and you're just like getting spinning wheels and this and that. We didn't want to miss Serpentor, so we're like, let's just do it. And because this Serpentor is fire. This Serpentor and the His tank are going to be like the centerpiece of like my Cobra collection. I love everything about them. I love how they modernize them. I love the cape with the scales on it. I'm just so impressed by this thing. So yeah, it's just one of those things where, and they will absolutely make more. They're going to want a return on the investment. This is a ton of engineering and this and that. This whole thing is a farce where it's like, oh, you're only going to get it. No way. They're everybody who's going to want this Serpentor is going to get it because Hasbro just loves money. I just don't. And I was actually shocked about the $80. I thought when I saw $80, I was like, okay, so that's got to be for the sled. Now, how much for Serpentor? I was like, is this broken up into like 2 pieces? I was actually surprised that it was $80. That's how much they trained us, that we see $80 and we're like, oh my God, what a deal. But, you know, it is what it is. So I went in on the Serpentor. I think it's beautiful. Modernizing this character who, yeah, let's face it, he's a goofy character. Genghis Khan and all this blood. Come on, give me a break. But, like, I fell in love with it. I'm in. I got one. Me and my buddy are going to get one, and we'll, whatever, get the shipping, free shipping. So it's worth it at the end of the day. But they're for sure going to make more.
Yeah.
Yep.
Heard the app experience was not great. I did it over the browser, and people are saying 604 sellout or 503, but within the first few minutes. So it was a quick
Is that how
sellout.
fast it sold out in 4 minutes?
4 minutes once it went public. But again, I guess
Wow.
all premium people got it before then. Riley Bob asks, was the friend Flipper Frank? Are you in cahoots with Frank Hatter?
We split everything. Anybody see that movie, The Prestige, where it's actually, I don't want to give it away, but yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Sorry. Thanks. Can you edit that out, Jay? Just, like,
sure. It's live. I can just edit it.
All right.
It's fine.
All right. No one watched The Prestige.
I mean, if you haven't seen The Prestige at this point, I'd argue it's a top 3 Nolan movie, I think.
The Prestige is an amazing. It's like a top 3 probably movies.
That's
like, it's amazing.
I love that movie so much. But so pumped to have gotten this guy. I think it's shipping in December, so pretty pumped for that. Selfie series. I'm sorry. I tried this. Did you try it at Comic-Con, Hatter? I tried it at Comic-Con. It was awful. Even at this, it's not going to be $80 or whatever, 60 something bucks, whatever it is. I just, for, at least for my face, it looks terrible. So it's a no-go for me. Hatter, did you get to try it at Comic-Con, or at least has it been open now?
The Selfie series and the sucking up of the Selfie series during this Hasbro Pulse thing is like Oscar-winning level acting. To get those hosts and those people to look at those terrible likenesses and go, oh my God, I'm so excited. Look, I got a Ghostbusters. It is the lamest. In 5 years, it's going to be a marker in time of, oh, remember the Selfie series fiasco and this and that? That thing sucks. It stinks. I did a Selfie series. I showed it to my wife. She's like, who is that? I was like, I don't know who that is either. It's so bad. Just throw it away. Enough. We're not technologically.
Oh
what's that one company that tried to produce a flying car? You're not there yet. Okay, we're not at the Selfie series stage. Get rid of that. Just in the barn, back of the barn, shoot it. It stinks.
Yeah, it's bad. John, I assume you feel similar here.
Yeah,
it was cringy for sure.
It's just give it up. Like, I know they put a lot of time into figuring out that. Okay, why can't they tout all like this real scan technology, on figures that they're making that isn't actually scanned after a real life person? Like half the GI Joe figures, they're saying, "Oh, we use real scan technology." Well, who did you scan? Like, why is it that stuff looks so good? And then the stuff that is actually supposed to be real scan technology is crap. I
think the tech's just not there yet. It's not. We're just not at a point where it's like grab your phone. By the way, if anybody did it, this is just one man's opinion, one sleepless man's opinion.
Sure.
I'm just saying but I just think, John, I just don't think we're there yet. There's actually a few streets down from where I live. It's like one of these scanning centers where people have to go in, and there's all this machinery, hundreds of thousands of dollars of machinery to scan, and then even then, I don't think it looks right. So it's just like, it's just not. And it'd be fine if it was like, I don't know, $20, $30, but $60.
Yeah,
they're asking for it. That now you're talking about, and then shipping. So yeah.
Here, do this with your phone, and then pick everything else that seems to match up the best with your face.
Yeah,
it's and chances are, like, after 1 in 20,000 will look like it, because that's just odds of human structure.
Hot dog. The Joan Rivers selfie figure turned out well. Tony Taylor says Hatter Datter is 100% right. Not ready for prime time. I think as a concept, it's great, right? If this is good, I think we'd be down for it. But it's too cookie cutter. All the face shapes are very similar. And the scanning just doesn't. It's not fully baked. It's half baked, and it's just not.
And the other problem is it promotes realism, so there's like places where you can get like a Lego made of you or a Funko Pop, but because those are stylized, they get a pass. So it's just like, okay, if they kind of get you, it's okay. But their whole thing is promoting like this realism, and that's the problem. It ends up looking like, when you play like Skyrim, and you're at the character creation screen, and you have like the basic character face. That's what your face ends up looking like. It's not. It's just. It's not good.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Let's keep moving here because we're in like 25 minutes left. This was all a bunch of stuff. Cool. I love Sergeant Slaughter. This Nerf thing, just way over. We can just agree this is way overpriced and stupid, right?
Yeah.
So stupid. I think I love Nerf. But $80. Come on now. Come on.
And they put the G.I. Joe logo from the first movie, the Channing Tatum Joe movie.
Yeah.
On the clip or the stock, whatever you want to call it.
So that's G.I. Joe. We're not going to cover Magic the Gathering or the Avalon Hill, but I guess the one HasLab was for Heroescape, right, or something like that. I didn't look at it. So
yep.
For whatever that's worth. But let's bring up here, I think, to me, the winner of the day, even though I think the G.I. Joe team did a good job, Lenny and Emily always bring it. They bring the energy. Nothing but respect for those two, or the G.I. Joe team in general. I think they do a really good job. And it shows when then you've got the Star Wars team in a little bit. Oh yeah, the Ghostbusters. No. But when and again, I don't want to seem like I'm harping on, but when I saw Patrick was overseeing Indiana Jones, I was like, no. But just because the Star Wars line is just so boring in comparison to everything else at Hasbro. But that being said, I think that what they showed for the most part was fantastic. Was it the adventure set? Is got the adventure series, which we had some awesome names. Adventure series is really boring, but the Indiana Jones. I don't know. Maybe it's just we haven't gotten a 6-inch scale Indiana Jones that looks halfway decent. I think it looks incredible. Hatter, you wanted to be on this stream because you wanted to talk about Jones. Indy, thoughts here on this figure?
I am a giant fan of the Indiana Jones series. Okay, I'm a gigantic mark for these movies, especially. Well, there's only been 3 movies. I know there's a rumor that there's a 4th movie. That never happened. But these movies, I did a video about like top 10 like movie franchises that need to be like have like action figures. This was number 2 because but you need somebody to be like dedicated to this line. You need somebody to like have everything in scale, take it seriously. I love what I'm seeing so far. I want to take a closer look. But you're right. First of all, there's this feeling like, hey, we never get fed any Indiana Jones crumbs. So then we get something that's like, oh my God. But I'm trying to temper my expectations because I love these movies. I want to take a closer look at the Harrison Ford face. Okay, it's tough to see how on model it is, but if I'm just kind of taking a few steps back and just taking a look at everything, I'm loving what I'm seeing here. Okay, this is what you need. The build of it, I don't want to get ahead of the game, but the build artifact thing is wild. That blew my mind, and just the character. So this is like a lock-in, full line. I buy the whole thing kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm totally with you, Hatter, and John. We'll get to your thoughts next year. But like, it was like, oh, Indy's amazing. I'm definitely getting Indy. And even though Tot and all the other Marion. Was it Sala and who's that?
Belloc.
Belloc. Like again, the melting face, like it's all fun. It was like, okay, but there's a reason these were peg warmers always, and it's just like it's not as compelling as a toy. But the second they introduce the box art, right, and they said build an artifact. And we've got a god dang Ark of the Covenant if we buy all of these freaking figures. I was like, okay, I'm buying them all. You got me, Hasbro. You got me. But John, thoughts on the reveal here of the action series?
Or whatever. I gotta say, I think the Indy panel stole the weekend.
It did.
Easily.
I mean, so far. I think out of this lineup right here, I mean, you know, we always say like the Harrison Ford head sculpt is always like one of the worst to come out of anything, like regardless of who's making it, even Sideshow, Hot Toys. Seems like nobody ever gets it right. But I think in this lineup, I don't know if it's just me, but I think Tot looks the worst.
Yes,
I'm not saying it looks bad, but I think there's just his regular non-melting face doesn't look as, as taut as it should.
Yeah.
But I'm so surprised that they're doing the melted face with that much blood and everything. And part of me says, well, they're doing that now because it's package-free packaging. So it's not like a kid is walking down the aisle and looking in the bubble and saying, "Oh, look at that," with all the blood and everything running down. Where it's hidden now. It's PG-13 in behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But the Build-A artifact is chef's kiss, and just knowing that they're like the way that they're sort of talking about it is this is just the beginning. But my only worry is, okay, so we'll have a Raiders wave, a Temple wave, and a Crusade wave, and then potentially, obviously, the upcoming movie wave. But I want more. Like, but the last time we talked about this, when we were doing our predictions, it was going to be we said, well, it's probably going to be a plasma effect, where we'll get one wave and then the line just dies. Like, that's it. But it's nice to know that Hasbro has actual plans to hopefully keep this going. But everything looks really good so far, but it seems a little naked without actual, like a play set, a little Well of Souls or a map room or anything.
I want a Sean Connery figure, right? Because I'm with you, John. Like, how far are they going to go? It is the Plasma Series effect where we got like the 4 GBs. We got a Louis Tully as a convention exclusive, and then we got the new stuff, and they're like, all right, that's it. And I got a feeling it's going to be very similar with this. Hatter, are you worried that we're like going to get these Raiders figures, or maybe the new figures, and then they're out?
No, I'm thinking positive. All right, boys. Okay. We're going all the way. Indiana Jones is it's in terms of action figure, it's the king of almost. But we're in a new era here. Okay, I think these are 6 inches. They'll probably go well with maybe classified. Maybe get some soldiers in there. Maybe that integration can help. I don't know, but in terms of what Indiana Jones figures have the best chance, these guys look like they might have the best chance. These guys, this is like a serious line. The Build-A artifact is great. I'd be lying if I said I don't know. Indiana Jones is weird. It's always been a weird line. It's like I don't know how many empirical fans there are of that cross over from the movies into action figures. Yeah. But I feel like this has a shot. Whether they go past like the primary characters, like I can see them doing like a Henry Jones Sr. I can see them doing Molaram, some thuggy guards, but like, whether we get into like, okay, here's Marcus Brody or whatever, maybe not. But the other thing, and you're right about this, John, is that you do need some kind of play sets. There is here's the things that I am worried about. Okay. Play sets are very important for Indiana Jones, and these are too big for play sets. A map room would be huge. If you did Molaram's Temple, you would need like to haslab that. You know what I mean? Like you could with the giant Kali statue, it'd be awesome. I'd go in on it, but how many people would go in on it? The Build-A artifact, I'm curious where that goes, because the Ark is like a sizable artifact. But you go into the second movie, you got the Sankara stones. Those are small stones, and then are they on a stand? Like, what's the second? I'm trying to think, like, like maybe all the cups with the cup of Christ. But I'm just trying to think, like, what are other artifacts that are relevant enough? Yeah, it's relevant as the Ark to keep this momentum going. And me, as a massive Indiana Jones fan, I'm having a hard time. Like maybe the Knight's Tomb, but it's like, how many people know that? You know what I mean? Yeah. So I don't know. I'm very curious where that goes.
I think the next one would be like an actual like to scale idol.
Oh, it's a scale idol. Like
Because if you broke that up into 5 pieces put together like a puzzle, I mean, that makes sense. It's almost like when Mattel did the build a grapple gun for the Batman Multiverse series. But then again, like after that, like that's the last thing that I can think of. Like, what is? I mean, it's not like they could do build a German motorcycle, because like then it's almost, it's way too complicated to make that as a build a piece.
Yeah,
it's true. Oh, I got it. You build from the first movie, the big burly mechanic. Okay, you build him. He's big. Okay.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And then you build the giant thuggy guard from the second movie. Okay, there's two, although they're just slightly bigger than Indiana Jones. I was taking a look at my gung ho figure, my classified. If you take off his hat and his jacket, he basically is that German mechanic that Indy fights. But yeah, it's like, who do you do? If they're labeling it build an artifact, you have now committed to the road of artifact. Right. So you might be right. Disney actually just came out with some idols, and I actually have them. I didn't open them up yet, so I don't even know if they would do that again. But like, they released a fertility idol, a Sankara stone, and like the Cup of Christ. I don't know if they go that route again, but it's like, that has me a little worried, because now you're committing to it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I didn't even think of that. Like, now that they called it build an artifact, I was like, well, it's not an artifact. I got a German mechanic in here.
Yeah.
Well, he's dead, so he's kind of an artifact.
That's true. Once you die.
We have another special guest coming on that has a lot of knowledge in the Ghostbuster verse, and I would love to get his thoughts here on this, and as well as Star Wars, as we close out our coverage here tonight. One of the hosts of the live stream on Toy Anxiety, good friend of the channel, Craig. Welcome, my friend.
Hey guys, what's up? How are we doing? Hey John. Hey Mad Hatter.
Hey.
I know you'll be covering this a little bit later, but just one question I have for you, as someone with experience with the Ghostbusters Hasbro team, or how that all went down. Do you feel like this is a one and done here, and then we'll get some of the new movie figures for the Adventure series?
So I very much I think Indiana Jones is a comparable brand from a toy collecting standpoint to Ghostbusters, in the sense that if there's not a new movie to support or a new TV show, it's a little bit harder to roll out, Indiana Jones figures and have them take up, peg space, the coveted peg space at retail. But they did say today they've got 25 figures, right? So
apparently,
I think you're going to see a full. You might see a second Raiders wave, because we're going to get all the Indy variant. There's going to be 10 of the 25 are going to be Indy figures probably. But you'll see a Temple of Doom wave. You'll see Part 3 wave. What's it called? Last Crusade wave. I don't know if we're going to get that Crystal Skull wave, but maybe. And then, I think it's like anything else. I think if they do really well, and then when the new movie comes out, because I have a feeling Indiana Jones is going to be like Top Gun. It's going to re-enter the public consciousness, and I think it's going to be very successful. And I think this stuff will probably do well, especially the 6-inch stuff. I mean, I think the retro stuff will be amazing for toy collectors, because
great call out. I do want to talk about that before.
Yeah, we could talk about. I think it's all going to be successful. And it's a big company. If it sells, then they'll make more of it.
We talked about it in our predictions episode. I really wanted them to do a retro Indiana Jones, because this figure, unlike the Ghostbuster figures loose, this figure loose complete, you're in the hundreds of dollars. So them re-releasing this retro Indy, I think, is huge. John, as somebody that trades and buys and sells vintage toys, how big of a deal is this to get this retro Indy?
Huge. Like, when they showed this with the action feature,
yes,
like I could not believe like they were gonna do this, to like go this deep on it. Number one. Yes. And in number two, like actually make it like the vintage Indy figure. Like, I was reading a lot of comments and like, why does his waist look like that? His crotch looks so strange. I'm like, well, it's not only for the action feature or anything. They sculpted him that way so he could ride the horse.
Yep.
So I'm hoping that they'll also release the Arabian horse to go along with this figure, but they stayed so true to the vintage toy that it is, you know, it, it's so like commendable on Hasbro,
Yeah.
and not putting all that trash weathering on the card back that they did with the Star Wars retro stuff.
Oh, it's
and
beautiful.
a giant retro sticker, like, you know, like, this is obviously retro. No, I just walked into Walmart, you know, and picked it up today. I didn't need that sticker telling me.
I love it so much. I want all of them. I want the playsets. I want so much of it because it's so god dang expensive. Hatter, your thoughts here on this retro release?
Yeah, I mean, I'm typically not like a retro guy, meaning like, I mean, I picked whatever I picked up at the time. I usually move forward, rarely backward. But this is one where I'm going to dive in on this because I never had, even though, you know, I mean, I didn't really grow up in America. So like, you know, we didn't have by the time I got here, you couldn't find these anymore.
Yes.
And so this is going to be my chance to get this, and I'll keep it. I'm probably just going to keep it in package, keep it on the wall. Like John says, because it doesn't have a sticker, fool people into thinking it's the original thing and have them be impressed by my flexing. But yeah, I love this. I love the cards back. I love the art on this. And I am very curious what the numbers are like for something like this, to see if they keep it going. Indiana Jones is one of these things where I think it's always in a pickle because it's produced by such a massive company. And you know, like, and again, I'm not to do a 1-for-1 for NECA, but like, you know, if it was a smaller corporation that was maybe making Indiana Jones figures, maybe the numbers can be lower and they can maybe release more of these. I don't know how the model works. Ghostbusters is a good comp because it's like, I don't want to say niche, but it's like a smaller property in comparison to Star Wars and Marvel, but they have to reach a certain threshold. So it does make me afraid. Like, you know, if I dive in, do they just pull it after one wave? If I buy this carded Indiana Jones, is that all I get? Do I get the horse? Do I get Marion? Like, how far does this continue? Unlike where it's like Star Wars or Marvel, where it's like, you know, they're just going to make every niche character or every other character. So I'm moving forward. I'm giving them my money. I literally gave them my money earlier today, so I have this on pre-order. But I'm very afraid.
Yeah, I don't think it's similar to Ghostbusters. We'll get a certain amount, and that'll be it. And hopefully, we get a lot, as much as possible. Craig, will you be getting this one? Are you adding this collection? Are you gonna be just like, no, I'm a vintage purist. I don't need this.
I'm not a vintage. I'm not a purist of anything. I change my mind 10 times a day about everything I do. I will get this. I love $15 for an action figure is awesome in 2022. And love the packaging. I love that they said they're going to be doing figures that were never in the original line, which isn't hard because there was only 6 or 7 figures total. I actually picked up I never had these.
Yeah.
These aren't like Star Wars. I think there's going to be a lot of people who see these and go, I don't remember these. Because it's not as
rare.
Like every kid had Star Wars figures. Yeah. But to not be long-winded, yes, I'm going to get them. And I do have a couple of the vintage. I have the Cairo Street play set. So I hope they don't re-release that. And I hope they don't kill my value.
They're gonna do
it. They're probably gonna do it. No, it's fine. I want everybody to have it. And I have the Indy in disguise, which I'm assuming they're gonna re-release that. But I think it's amazing. I think this is you guys said it earlier. This was a big win for Hasbro today. I think they kind of stole the weekend.
Yeah, I agree. This line, this prop replica, it's all right. It's very plasticky looking. Just quick show of hands. Anybody here backing it or buying this?
Okay, if they said, you know, you can the bottom is adaptable to screw into like the bottom of a broom handle to actually make it full size instead of just like here's the top of it.
I was told today by my good friend of our show, Hal Clay, who is the biggest Indiana Jones fan I've ever met in my life, that he said this looks awful and it's worse than the one that Disney just put out, which is also inaccurate. That's what he said. So I'm just going by him. I think this is kind of fun. Like, you know, it's kind of fun.
It's expensive. It's like $80 though. I don't know. Just
I think it was 50.
Is it 50? Okay. Yeah.
This is for the diehard fan. This is not like, this isn't a stocking stuffer.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
We don't have too much time to dig into Star Wars. Hatter, what's the one thing you really want to talk about on the Star Wars side? And we'll let our friends at Yes have some, or Toy Anxiety really tell us what's up.
On the Star Wars side,
Yeah.
I think I fell asleep. I don't even know what Star Wars. I have zero interest. But go on. You guys can pick.
Anything for you, John, that really stood out? That was like, I could buy that.
Nothing. Honestly, nothing.
No.
I will say this was when after Indiana Jones, I said, you know what? Congratulations, Hasbro. You did a good job, and I'm not going to sully my weekend with the rest of this. but I will say, only because he's still on the screen during this, is I think Patrick was genuinely excited for Indiana Jones.
Oh yeah,
He was. There was a difference. It's the same,
Yes.
almost the same crew.
Yeah.
It was a different vibe.
It was seeing the human Patrick compared to robot Patrick in Star Wars.
Oh my God. I was in a chat with Craig earlier. I was just like, his laugh is like what if you hired an AI to like replicate what a human laugh is like.
Yeah.
It's so off-putting.
But as far as anything else in Star Wars,
The Wiki looks pretty good, but it's $25. Craig, what was kind of your highlights here?
Well, unfortunately we're gonna spend an hour trying to break apart Star Wars.
You have a friend of the channel, For on the Zuckus, Jake Stevens.
Yeah, Jake Stevens will be on. We'll break it all down. Look, they're celebrating the 40th anniversary of Repack of the Jedi. And I will be reusing that joke.
I got you, friend. Here we go. There you go.
Thank you. I mean, listen, they're going to re-release a lot of figures, and if people missed out on them, they'll be able to get them again. They're re-releasing a lot of the Barge era figures.
Yes.
I'm glad we're getting a Wicket in the Black Series. I think that's cool. But yeah, this was like Indiana Jones was like the when the opening band blows everybody out of the water, then the headliner comes on, and you're
and all they're playing like rehash versions of the old hits.
You start going through your to-do list for tomorrow, and
Wicket was the only look, but it was $25. But I'm out of Black Series. I will say there were some hints to HasLabs to come. I think in that chat, I mean, with you, Craig, it was like very much the thought is a HasLab Ewok Village. Anything 3 3/4 would be amazing, but we'll have to see, I guess.
Is that Wicked? Like, I'm not even being I was going to curse, but it's like, has that Wicked not come out like in that incarnation?
First time,
huh?
It's the first time in Black Series, I believe.
It okay.
They've never done. Somehow it's 10 years of Black Series. They also made a point of saying it's the 10-year anniversary of Black Series. We're not going to be celebrating it, but like it was so like cool. Congrats. I don't know. Yeah.
That was Patrick said it too. It's just like I think Patrick secretly hates Star Wars and hates the brand.
I think that, but that's every Star Wars fan. That's part of it.
It's so true. So true. But yeah, cool. Again, you'll cover this really well, Craig, for the Toy Anxiety stream. Craig, so it's anything you want to shout out here for what's going to come in a couple of minutes here on the Toy Anxiety side of things, and then we'll let you get ready for your show.
Well, you got a lot of people watching, so I better do this right. First of all, I appreciate you teaming up with this for these back-to-back shows.
Yeah.
If anybody doesn't know what we do on Toy Anxiety, it's pretty similar to this. Ryan, Abigail, Jake, and myself, we have a show every week on Tuesdays, and tonight we got night 2 of Pulse Con coverage. We'll break down some G.I. Joe. We'll get into Star Wars and Indiana Jones. And, we'll talk Selfie series for maybe like 3 hours, and then we'll go to bed. It'll be awesome. It's going to be great. I believe the link's down below.
It is. I put instead of to your channel, I put a direct link to this live stream. So if you click on it, it'll just like it'll take you to it.
Do you see our clickbait there?
It's great. It's great. Great.
You gotta love it. Gotta love it. I'm gonna peace out. You guys have a great night, and we'll see everybody here in like 60 seconds on our channel.
All right. Awesome. Thank you,
Thanks,
Craig.
Jeff.
Thank you.
I'll see you.
Hatter, my friend, you are one of my favorite, not just toy tuber, YouTubers, period. And I would be remiss if I didn't give you a good plug. Mad Hatter Reviews. I also have a link to your channel in the description below. So anybody watching right now, again, we've had over 600 watching. You're pretty damn close to 1,000 or 10,000. I'm sorry, subscribers. But give you a follow. Hatter, like, what if you had to give your elevator pitch for Mad Hatter Reviews? What would it be?
Oh my God! If you guys want to see the most like schizophrenic, just too many characters, the show doesn't even have a direction. We don't know where we're going. You think you're seeing reviews, and then the next time we're doing some kind of stupid shtick with action figures. But it's that madness that makes the Mad Hatter channel unique. Okay, so we have the people that support. This is gonna sound like kind of ball washy, but I'm just gonna say the people that support the Mad Hatter channel. I mean, they're awesome. We got some great people, some great discussions. I love the following that we're creating, and yeah, I mean, it's because everybody's got different opinions. I don't love the echo chamber thing. I love that everybody, you know, and we try to keep it pretty honest. I don't delete comments. I don't do anything like that. So if you want to attack me, go ahead and attack me. That's fine. Okay. But yeah, so if you want to see nonsense like this, and you want to see, I don't know, people reviewing toys and passion personified, go to the Mad Hatter channel, and you won't be disappointed until you are, and then you can leave. But you'll stay for a while. That's it.
Oh my God, completely agree, gentlemen. Final thoughts on day 2. And then we'll get the hell out of here. John, final thoughts.
I think everything was pretty good. You know, it was a satisfactory Pulse Con. You know, outside of the non-action figure stuff that we don't talk about or care about. But you know, outside of the force the stuff down your throat with the hosts and everything. I thought the panels were good.
Yeah, I agree. Hatter, final word here on day 2, and maybe it as a whole.
I think satisfactory is like a good word. It was very unlike Comic-Con. Like I didn't find I'm comparing this to like a con because it says Pulse Con on it. So you know, you opened it up. You opened the door, Hasbro. I'm not every con. There's something. Like you think of Comic-Con, I think of like Eternia. I think of like the thing. Like this one has not given me like the wow factor. I do love the Indiana Jones stuff. I kind of knew it was coming, so I didn't. It was satisfactory. Okay, it's like you know how you play like Devil May Cry, and at the end of the level you get like a B. It's like a B. It's like it's okay. I don't hate it, but I was hoping there would be that one thing that I didn't expect. That just wowed me, but whatever. That's more money that I don't have to pay, so I'm fine with that. But I love the Indiana Jones stuff. I'm in on that. Yeah, and picking up various GI Joes.
Agreed. And we need more Mephisto.
We do. Oh, that dude is on deck for sure. Okay, you for sure. All right, especially if this Ghost Rider thing doesn't happen.
People have been noticing. Yes, I have the new CGI Castle Grayskull behind me. Open this thing up and set it up today. My hope is I'll have a video soon. But I did shoot this. Oh no, let me make my. Sorry, hold on. I gotta make myself small here. I did shoot this quick little video with my phone to kind of showcase this. You'll actually, if I think I left the volume on, but you might hear Bluey in the background if I do play it.
Sets are dead. They're alive and breathing.
For Mattel on the Masters of the Universe. It is amazing.
It looks great.
It'll come soon on the channel, but this is so
Put it
cool.
in.
Oh my god.
That is
You may
cool.
have sold me.
Watch, and then it goes. Shoot. So cool. So it is awesome. So video review of that coming soon to the channel. I want to thank the people that make this show possible, our patrons. You help this channel grow. If you would like to join our patronage, it's $5 a month. You get your name in the credits, get to join After Dark. Mad Hatter's been on After Dark before. That's a ton of fun. The podcast feed, so much more, and some cool things in the pipeline for there as well. Please give Mad Hatter Reviews a subscribe, give him a follow if you haven't already. You're gonna love it. And after this is done, if you haven't already, I think a lot of people have already left over there, but please head over to Toy Anxiety to keep this party going. They have Jake from Forlom to Zuckus. They're going to deep dive that Star Wars stuff that we didn't have too much time for. So definitely check that out. And until next time, hasta luego and goodbye.
Night.
Bye, everybody.